Welcome back to the MAIZEplus Pig Farmer, and it's a fieldwork video today. We need to get the, I'm actually not going to get all of them done. We need to get the carrots and the corn planted. Before we can do that, we need to get the fields for those ploughed. I have already ploughed the cornfield because it's quite a big field, but we're going to get the two fields that are going to be carrots planted with our plough mulcher thingy. Yeah, and I thought this was a nice little job to get done in a video. Once we've got the ploughing done, we'll progress to April. We also need to spray herbicide on the field 10, the only field 10. On the canola in field 10. We also need to get fertilizer going on that as well. So I'm going to, I can't remember if I buy or lease the sprayer. We'll see when we get there. But I do need to get fertilizer going on that as well. So I planted it without any fertilizer because it is very full of weeds. The rest of the fields won't get weeds because they've all been ploughed, because they didn't need, so these three fields did need ploughing. The other field didn't, but because we were planting it, we needed to do something, and we don't have a cultivator, so use this instead. You will have seen from the thumbnail that we're going to do a little bit of a tractor demo later, because we're still having issues with the planter, with it skipping bits, and it got quite ridiculous. So I did test out another tractor, and you'll see the results of that a bit later. Do you have a bit of a question for you for today? And it was a comment on the last video where I talked about removing enhanced animal system. And if I was organized, and I never am with these things in terms of comments, I'm really bad at names of people that comment unless you're a real regular, and then there's a good chance I'll remember. But no, don't start playing YouTube video that I was watching. Let's find the last MAIZEplus Pig Farmer video. Not going to be that long ago because there weren't that many videos last week, because last week was kind of mental. Let's open it up. Turn the sound off so it doesn't play. Comment by Crankian, I think. Yeah, the suggestion was to add in the butcher mod. Maybe not obviously. I did a video on the enhanced butcher a while ago and had forgotten just how profitable it can be. So I am curious what you guys think about, rather than maybe this next piglet cycle, rather than removing the enhanced animal system, we add the butcher mod in. That is going to, I need to look back at how it works. I think we need to keep the piglets longer, but they're going to be worth a heck of a lot more. So if we do go down that route, and that's why I've not really pushed the time a lot in this video, because I want your feedback. Because if we do go down that route, I think I'm going to have to sell half the pigs to be able to feed the piglets for longer. But I think that will be offset by the fact that, looking back quickly at the spreadsheets that I had, I think it's quite unrealistic in the way it's set up, because I think like a few month old piglet is suddenly worth like $1,000. Actually, no, I can't open it up on this computer because I don't have Excel on this computer. So I only have Office on my laptop to open spreadsheets. Just never got around to installing it on this one because this is a computer that I game on and make videos. So yeah, I know I could probably open it in Google, whatever, but I'm not going to. And hopefully you can't hear my neighbour, who has just started up a tile cutting saw, paving slab cutting saw. Not a tile saw, a circular saw. Anyway, crop spraying. We are going with this little Emit 303, almost said termite, by Met. That's the manufacturer. I have no idea who the modder is. Obviously, basically, just because it is super cheap and cutting costs is a big thing for us on here. Although I did dumb things, so we're going to buy it. Did dumb things like buying a combine, which realistically I shouldn't have done. I should have leased the combine. Choices were made. Maybe they were the wrong choices. I should watch my own videos about whether I should buy or lease kit, shouldn't I? Yeah. And realistically, apart from the time factor, we're going to put narrows on here as well. Apart from the time factor, it would have been more cost effective for me to have ploughed that field because I own the plough. But, you know, I didn't think of doing that, so... Oh, well. Another grand on narrow tyres as well. But we are going to need to spray fert on that field as well. And I think almost all of the other fields need at least an application of fertiliser as well. So it's not a massive problem. Driving to the wrong side of the sprayer is more of a problem. Yes, I'm a massive farm sim noob sometimes. But yeah, so we're going to get the weed sprayed and then we're going to move on to planting the corn. And I am doing corn on corn, which if we were using the crop rotation mod would not be super good. Maybe is not super realistic. Although when I used to do in FS19 seasons, I used to do a lot of corn on corn, but I used to put in grass as a cover crop because that break cover crop, which we could have done on here, but we didn't need it. That break cover crop would reset the yield and how realistic that is, but worked in the game. Yeah, and this isn't necessarily about, you know, things like running all those super realistic mods. It's about, and it's why I don't always show a lot of farming, speaking of as much as I'm showing in this video. It's about getting to the point where we, you know, this is how much crop we've harvested from the land that we own, and therefore this is how many animals we can support, and therefore can we make a profit. Actually, going back to the butcher mod, where I went on a bit of a sidetrack. It's quite expensive to put in, obviously, because you have to buy the big building. And I guess a question around that is, should we include the cost of putting that building in? I'm kind of torn either way, because it's almost like, should there be a meat sell point on the map to take your animals to? Maybe there only isn't because of the age rating of the game, and that's why you take animals back to the animal dealer. So yeah, kind of open to your suggestions. My thought at the moment is we pay for it because we're going to make so much more money back on selling the piglets. Before I do the next video, I'm going to go back and have a look at the mod. Check the age I need to have them at to sell them, and get an idea of how much we might make from a litter. I was going to say batch. It's a litter, isn't it, of piglets? I assume litter is the right word. And yeah, we'll go from there. But maybe that's a better way of playing it than stripping enhanced animal system out and purely relying on making a profit out of poo. But I do remember that from the numbers that I looked at, the butcher mod feels very unrealistic to me. I'm pretty sure that you don't get a grand's worth of meat out of a single pig. I might be wrong, but it feels a bit of a stretch to me. Pete, is that something you know? You know, we do histories of pig farm, working in pig farms, but to me that feels like a big stretch. Anywho, getting the weeds treated. And again, I had a bit of a as I was doing this, and most of the stuff I've done around weeds is to do with more with precision farming. But I did kind of wonder, should I even bother, because the impact on yield of spraying the weeds is maybe not actually worth it. But we'll do it properly. We'll do a proper job, and things will be good. I'm not actually sure what day this video is going to come out at the moment. It might be the first video of next week. I'm recording the commentary for this on Saturday. Hence my neighbour doing crap out in the garden. I need to be mowing the grass tomorrow, not today because it looks like it's about to rain. Hopefully it will, and then it'll stop doing noisy stuff. And the intent is to have done a Terra live stream this evening, which will be what I probably put out the replay of on Sunday. So this might be Monday's video. And another Saurus interruptus. I have no idea if they get... I know whenever I ask, people say they don't hear it. That's usually because if it gets picked up, I edit it out. But if I keep talking and it gets picked up, then it's much harder to edit out. So I usually like to stop. Anyhow, yeah. This little spray is doing a cracking job for 1,300 quid. It would probably be better on a much smaller tractor. You know, I could imagine this on like a little Ursus or something. It would be great, but this is the tractor we have, so this is the tractor we're using on. And clearly I forgot to put my PPE on before I filled the sprayer up. So, but you know, don't tell anyone. I've not done my sprayer certificate, so yeah, probably shouldn't be doing this. We're tucked away in the corner, and I want no farming inspector's going to come around. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Yeah, so that's the weeds sorted. So we can skip ahead now to April and get the corn in the ground is going to be the next job, I think. And here we are, and you can see that the planter is skipping bits again, and kind of my gut feel, and I have a recollection with I used this tractor a lot in the past. I think I used it initially on, I can't remember if I used it on God, brains faded away. Oxy's first map for FS22. Someone will jump in and tell me what it was. I'm sure. And I know I used it on Maypole, and in both cases I sometimes had issues with it doing this. Which is, I was kind of willing to tolerate small skipped pieces, but you'll see later on that they eventually get quite massive. And so in a moment, so all bar one of the sows is now pregnant. That is an enhanced animal system feature that becoming pregnant is not guaranteed when the vet comes and does what the vet does. So we're still using the vet to do artificial insemination because it's cheaper than feeding a boar all of the time. So yeah, to test, the local dealer has agreed to give us a demo of a John Deere 6170. So basically, I wanted to test to see if it's the tractor. I wanted to test to see if it's the tractor. Sorry, I keep having to pause. A freaking neighbour with his power tools. And I didn't want to have to buy a new tractor to test it. So I figured a bit of a demo from the local dealer was the way to go. And so we are leasing this for £0. If that offends you, then tough, you know? To me, this doesn't materially affect what we're trying to achieve, given that we have some sort of incompatibility between either the planter or the tractor we chose to buy. So spoiler alert, it's the tractor. So my plan is that must mean it is something in the XML of the 3-point in the tractor. Now that could be a real thing. It could be that the 3-point on that old Fiat is quite rigid, and so this would happen. But you can see the size of the mist patches. So my plan is to try and have a look in the XML and fettle it a little bit and fix it. But in order to test things, there we go, it just plants. So it clearly is an issue with that Fiat Agri. This is going to be the worst video to edit sound together for. I'm now on clip number 5 because the door went. You just can't get peace and quiet on a Saturday afternoon, can you? The rest of the family are visiting one of the in-laws, so yeah. You can see it. The 3-point on this is much more dynamic, shall we say? I've never looked at the XML for how 3-points behave on tractors, but it's got to be controlled in the XML. I would have thought. I am assuming, which could be a mistake, but yeah, my plan is to try and have a look and see if we can add a little bit more dynamicism into the one on the Fiat Agri, because this tractor just planted the whole field without issue. So I guess the alternative is we need to get ourselves a pull behind planter, not a 3-point mounted one, and basically not use 3-point mounted stuff on the tractor that we've got. That's going to be an issue because the carrot planter that we're going to need to lease is, guess what, 3-point mounted. So yeah, it would be nice to get it fixed before then. Yeah, but I'm not going to keep this tractor. It just literally needed to do a bit of fault finding to see whether it was the Fiat or the planter that was the problem, or the map. You know, is it the undulating terrain of the map? But it is quite clearly the Fiat from seeing the result of swapping tractors and planting the rest of the field. So again, I'm not intending to roll this field because it will destroy the planted texture. Part of that, I'll admit, is me being a little bit lazy at the moment. So if you're a regular to the channel, you'll have seen that I didn't make many videos last week, and there's not been many videos over the weekend because I'm really tired and life's really busy. So, you know, I'm cutting the odd corner in game as well. And depending on when this comes out, either way, videos, I am going to take it a bit easier on videos for the next week or so. If you're a Farm Sim fan, that probably means you're going to see maybe 4 Farm Sim videos in the week. If you're a Timberborn fan, you might not notice much difference because I tend to start playing that game and time vanishes. So there might be one less, I'm not sure. It depends how things go. I am traveling next week, so the thing that keeps me sane when I'm traveling quite often is playing with my beavers. Yes, you can laugh at the back, children. I know some of you don't like that, but it's how things have evolved, you know. And things will. Let's assume. I don't know anything special before you all get super excited. I'm just going on all of the rumour and other stuff. But let's assume there is a new game this year. I'm guessing the balance will switch a bit when we get to whenever that comes out. I can see me, you know, in the weeks after the new game comes out, trying to produce as much content as possible. to take advantage of that. Now, there might not be much Let's Play content, but there'll be a lot of farm sim content. So, fans of streaming. Obviously, there's been a lot less of that in the last few weeks because of the whole really tired, really busy stuff. I am in the process of building a little PC to hopefully make streaming better. Because I'm never really, when I stream off of the laptop, I'm not super happy with the quality. But I kind of have to stream off of the laptop at the moment. So I am working on something. It's work in progress. Mainly because of time to finish building the computer. I've got most of the parts, I think. So yeah. And I'm hoping, so that's a mini ITX PC that I'm in the process of putting together. I'm also hoping that that will be good when I travel, because normally I travel with 2 laptops, so that I can have one to play on and one to render videos on and stuff. And I'm hoping that the mini ITX PC I can use to do the video editing and rendering and stuff. So yeah. Anywho, we're pretty much done. So I'm going to say thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel. And yeah, let me know what you think about the Butcher mod. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.